This was an adventure. We're learning. We're still learning on YouTube. I think Steve figured it out. We love Steven. I'm so glad I charged my phone right before, um, like an hour ago because I was like, just in case. Like I had everything set up on my computer for this, and I thought that's how I would do it. It's the phone. So I'm glad I charged it. There we go. We'll be able we'll be able to do it. But yay! We made it work. Technology is challenging. I'm good, beautiful. How are you? Doing the thing? Yeah, yeah, I feel that. Life has been rough lately, I think for everyone. And then, everybody has their personal things and there's just shit going on in the world that feels so terrible. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's been 2020. I love people that are like, oh my God, 2025 is going to be my year. And I'm like, shh, don't let it hear you.
That's hilarious. It's actually my birthday in a couple weeks, and I am excited to start fresh on my year.
I said my year's not even starting until like spring. Spring is, I'm
Uh-huh.
giving myself like from when everything happened in the winter through spring to just kind of hibernate and slow down and not trying hard not to like judge myself for anything, like go as slow as I need. And then spring can be the start of the new year. Because if that's nature's schedule, then I feel like that should be our schedule too.
I totally agree. I absolutely.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to see. I thought there was a way. Oh, yay. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you for commenting, Ruth. I was just wondering, do we have the chat feature? But we do. Um, yeah. But I was actually just thinking not too long ago about when I used to do like, oh, the new year, new me, and like set all those goals for New Year's, and then you try so hard. It felt so, I don't know, just abysmal, like dark and abysmal, trying to do all those new things in the very depth of winter. Like everything feels gray and sad, and you're trying to be like this new person, and you inevitably fail most of the things that you set out to do. And
Right.
I feel like, yeah, that period is really crummy, which sucks because I am a January birthday girl. I'm a Capricorn and I
Uh-huh.
love my birthday, but it just was always like wrapped in this, like, oh, everybody's trying to like be different people and it feels so wrong. So now that I've adopted a more like, oh, I'm just gonna, now I feel like January's cozy. It's just,
Yeah, I love
it's just
that.
cozy.
January's like hibernation mode for me usually.
Yes. Instead of trying to go, go, go and do all the things, like, it's
Yeah.
just cozy and
I read
calm.
I've been like living by this idea lately. It's like the idea.
Yeah. 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 Exactly, those small little steps are so much better than trying to do these, like, big, because you fail, some people
Too much
succeed,
pressure.
not me, but some people
Yeah,
might
and
be
it's
able to
not
succeed with
sustainable. It's like be a completely different person now. Like
yeah.
no, like you got to adopt things into your life and actually integrate them.
Yes, little itty bitty steps, I think, make for the best change, and I do feel like now here in Florida, we finally, like, we actually have a cold snap coming up, but it's like a baby cold snap, it's just, like, 60 degrees instead of the 40s
Yeah.
that we were having in January. But I do feel like we're moving more towards spring. There's this beautiful tree in my neighbor's yard. It's already flowering, and I'm starting to feel, even though I have a lot of days that like are still on the
Yeah.
down spiral, I feel like there's some hope. There's some light at the end of the
Yeah.
tunnel. We're climbing the mountain.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. You look very like springy and happy, and your hair is freaking gorgeous.
Thank you. I was going through my closet because I was like, we're going to talk about self-love and body confidence and stuff. So I grabbed this dress that I don't think I've worn in a year, but I think I
Ooh.
made it 2 years ago.
Okay, let's see
And
it.
I put it on, and like I haven't worn it in 2 years. Like bodies change, and I was like, oh damn, I look good.
Yeah, you're looking
Yeah.
fab.
So I was happy. I was doing all my greens and my really fun. I think these are by Stacy of Bah Humble, my alien
Oh,
Saturn.
cute. I love them.
With the crystal.
My tea matches your outfit.
Oh, Terry says, is Namaste and Crochet freezing for anyone else? Is she frozen right? She froze a couple times on mine, but they were real quick. She's good on mine. Is anybody else struggling to
Let me
see
know,
her?
guys.
Can you see me? Am I frozen? Oh, see, you just froze. That's so weird. I can hear you beautifully. Oh, and now you're moving again. She does keep freezing for me. Okay, you're freezing for other people. Are you Wi-Fi'd, non-Wi-Fi'd?
Am I still here?
I see you.
Is that better?
You're moving for me. Is she unfrozen for everyone else? Thanks, guys. They're like, you haven't frozen, she's frozen. We appreciate it. Please let us know if it's not working because
Yeah, thank you.
we're new to the YouTube.
We are a technological disaster waiting to happen, so just
Of course, with what you're wearing because it's gorgeous.
thanks. I just finished it. It's my birthday gift to myself. It's my like granny swag jacket. It's super long. Right, let me see if I can get like the whole
Oh my
thing
god,
in here.
it's fabulous.
It's super long. Um, but I put like I don't know why I'm so obsessed with camo and neon green. Or no, neon orange.
I love it.
Like I don't understand what this obsession is, but this has been my like preferred color palette. So, and then I put like a bunch of yarns, like the rest of my wedding dress yarn is in here, and then
Oh my gosh.
some of these little like sequence yarns that I've been like holding on to. I just had like little bits of them, so I just put like some special yarns in it. Oh, and it's got a pocket.
It's got a pocket.
Wait, can you see the pocket? Wait.
Oh my god, and it's an inside pocket too.
Yeah, it's an inside pocket.
I love that.
Yeah, so I just finished this last night, and this is my new personality.
Oh my god, it is fabulous. I thought because I love your other ones that you've made, but I'm like, I haven't seen that one. I think that one's different.
Yeah, this one is really similar to the one that I gave to one of my best friends, Kofi.
Yeah.
And it was really hard for me to give that to him because I was like, I love this jacket so much, but I was also like, this is for you. It looks amazing on you. Like, you have to take it. But then I was like, I'm going to make myself the exact same thing. So we have the same jacket essentially.
I do feel like there are some people that are such selfless in the sense that like it brings them pleasure to knit for other people, and I think that's great. I am not one of them, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If I'm going to take all this time, and it's also our work, so like taking time away from work to make something for somebody else, like that's a big thing. I'd rather spend it making for myself and making designs. Every now and then I'm happy to make something for other people, but for the vast majority of time, it's like, and then I give it to somebody else. I'm like, damn, that was really good. I kind of want it for myself.
Yeah, I feel that. Like, I feel like when I'm giving it to somebody that I like know and love, then I'm like, it's still in my life. Like, it's
Yeah.
still, it's being enjoyed in my life. But like, when I make sales on Etsy, I don't like it sometimes. Like, I just
Really?
I sold 2 things on Etsy recently, and I was like, I didn't really want to sell those pieces. Like, I don't know who has them now. It feels kind of weird.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, getting the money for your work is, of course, wonderful, but you put so much more than just like time. Like, I don't know. I feel like we put our energy and our
Yeah.
passion into our stitches. That sometimes you have to make sure the person that's receiving it is knit or crochet worthy. But at the same
Yes.
time, we really do want people to buy our things whenever we're selling them.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I like to make customs for people because then I'm like, this is for you. Like this is,
Yeah.
So I do enjoy that. But I think that like sometimes when they get bought by like random people, I'm like, it feels like my like babies are out in the world and like I don't know what's
Taking
gonna
a piece
happen
of
to
my
them.
soul.
Like what if they aren't like, I don't know, whatever.
What if they're
Anyway.
not going to take care of it? What if they put it in the washing machine?
I know, like I always include instructions, but you never know.
You never know what's going to happen. That is
Yeah,
very
so anyway.
But we
What have you been
do.
working on lately?
Well, the main thing that I've been working on, I can't show. I was actually laughing thinking about what I'm going to post to YouTube next week because I've been spending all of my time on this secret project for Knit Stars. It's part of their capsule
Oh.
wardrobe collection. I'm the final designer in the group. I'm allowed to say these parts, but I can't talk about what
Wow.
I'm making yet, and I can't show off what I'm making. So it's been my main focus. I've barely worked on anything else. So I'm like, what the hell am I going to show people? But I did cast on. Usually every year for Valentine's Day, I make an outfit, but I was not in the headspace for that this year. So instead, right before Valentine's Day, I cast on. This is a knit project. It's called the Cordelia cardigan by Megan Makes Do. And it is the sweetest little oversized cardigan, very like simple stockinette knitting, but it has little hearts. Oh, I don't have, oh wait, here's the other color.
Oh,
It's gonna have little hearts all over it. So
cute.
yeah, this is my little,
Oh,
and
I
this
love
yarn,
that.
incredible. This is the Feels Like Butter yarn from Lion Brand. I've never worked with it before. It is so cool, like so smooth and like fabricy. I don't know why.
What is it made of?
I think it's just polyester, it says. Yeah, 100% polyester. But it has like a like buttery. It's like a
Feels like
fabric. I
butter.
feel like they cut like pieces of fabric instead of
Wow.
actual like fiber that's twisted. It feels more, it's definitely like a chained or a blown yarn, I think, but it feels just like strips of fabric almost. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's different.
I
It's
gotta try
different.
that out. Where are we
Yeah.
gonna get our Lion brand now that Joann's is closing?
Girl, when I tell you, when we were talking about 2025 being a dumpster fire for everyone, I cried the other day. I know that in the grand scheme, but this was just the straw that broke the camel's back because there's a Joann down the street from me. It's where I go when I'm having a bad day. Like sometimes I just
Oh
wander and I don't even.
no.
There's my Joann has the nicest people there. It's just you're allowed to bring in pets. Like it's just this magical place. And of course, mine and every other one within an hour of me is being closed.
No.
Yeah. So I cried. I was just like, I think 2025 is just like, you don't get to have anything nice. You don't get to have anything fun.
Oh my god.
I did. I cried. Is your Joann
Yeah.
safe? Did you look?
I haven't asked yet. I should ask.
If you go online and you type like the closing ones, because California and Florida are the two states losing the most. There's only going to be 12 Joanns in the whole state of Florida.
What?
They're closing
How
like
does
30
this happen
stores.
though? Because I feel like people go there.
Mine always has people.
Yeah, like how? Why?
I have to tell you, have you seen those? They're called Woobles.
Yes.
Okay. My friend, she told me, she goes, if Woobles don't have any haters, then I'm dead. And she said she hates these things with a passion, which I didn't have any like strong feelings, but apparently Joann's whole is like, I think they owe $7 million to the Woobles Corporation because like they didn't sell in the stores and Woobles wouldn't let them like do sales on them or do anything. So this big loss. And she's like, that's probably not the only reason that Joann's has gone under and filed for bankruptcy, but I am now
It's
inordinately pissed at
Google's
the
fault.
Woobles. I am now inordinately pissed at the Woobles.
Oh my god.
They brought down my Joann's.
Can we protest?
Protest the Wooble.
We are going to riot in these crochet streets.
Oh wait.
Ah, I have
Sorry,
never
Carol, on
done
the
one,
subject.
but
I heard you can buy Joanne storage racks, displays, and stuff when the stores are closing. That's the only positive I can find in this whole heartbreaking. No, it's just,
it's tragic.
yeah. It really sent me over the edge this week. I was like, that was the last thing I needed.
I understand. I really do. Your feelings are valid.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I feel like
Okay.
all of this kind of brings us to like how much passion and love and like the fact that my mental health sometimes relies upon yarn is very true.
It's
And I
so
feel like
real,
that,
dude. It's
yeah,
so real. And I was reminded of this when my city was burning down. It's not funny, but like
you gotta laugh to not cry sometimes.
I don't know. Yeah. Um yeah, no, it was I was stitching away that thing like a freaking lifeline. Like I was like I even unraveled. I did 2 full sleeves of the marigold sweater, like those puff stitch
Yeah.
flowers. I unraveled both of them twice
Oh my gosh.
because I kept running out of yarn. I was losing at Yarn Chicken, but it didn't even matter because I was so stressed out that I was like, I just need to keep doing this stitch over and over and over. Like,
That comfort, like the meditative, some of the meditative stitches or the comfort, or even if you do a complicated project that requires your focus, I feel like that self-care aspect where I can't control very
yeah,
much in this world, but I can make something beautiful. I can create something that puts a little bit of beauty into the world. I can get lost in my stitches. I can,
yeah.
you know, that is so necessary.
It is. And it's that nice combination of like, we're exploring and being creative, but we're also doing something where we know if we do this stitch in this spot, it's gonna do this thing, and it's not
Right.
gonna turn against us.
Right. Right.
You
Like
know
I
what I
know that
mean?
this is
It's like
safe.
that consistent.
I feel safe. I feel comforted
Yeah,
in
so
this like
safe.
little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also think like, I don't know, I sometimes, like you zone out and you get into it and it really is meditation. It's the quieting of
Mhm.
the storm outside and it's just the peacefulness that it really
Mhm.
brings. I
Yeah.
think that's very much the process because people talk all the time, oh, mental health or knitting and crochet are so great for mental health. And I think that's what it is. It's not necessarily the product that comes out of it, but it is the process of
Yeah.
creation and the process of
100%.
doing it. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you got into crochet originally for your mental health too, right? Like that's how
I
you got
sure
into it.
did. I
Yep.
sure did. I was like, this is like season 6 of me surviving life through crochet. I'm like, we've had multiple seasons at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
It just keeps
I'm
saving
like,
us.
I remember back in the pandemic,
Mhm.
back just like we were joking, that have you seen Hercules, the cartoon, the Disney cartoon? Of course
Of
you
course.
have.
It
You
is
know that
incredible.
scene where they're all sitting around and they're like, was that before the fire, or before the plague, or was that before like the earthquake
Before
happened?
the Titans
It's
came,
like
before all these,
that's
yep.
us. I feel like that's us right now.
We are. We are the crowd in Hercules right now. One new disaster after the other in this hellscape of a world.
Oh my god, right. We're just over here crocheting away, just like
Was that it before or after the plague? Oh no, the fires were definitely burning first.
oh god. It's funny because it's sad because it's true.
It's funny because it's sad.
Um Did you guys have a good Valentine's Day?
Um, yes, I'm trying to I never know what day it is anymore. Like
Fair.
I'm just living.
Totally fair.
Well, like, what did we actually do? Oh, okay. So the night before Valentine's Day, we went out and just had like wine and had a nice time. And then on Valentine's Day, Steve and I were both so tired. We're laughing. This event started at 6, but it really didn't like get going till 8. And we're just like, God, that's so late. But We
Yeah.
left the house and it was dark. And we went to Nude Night. It's this art exhibit that comes every year to Orlando, and it goes a couple other places too. But it's like the freedom, expression, and beauty of the nude body. And it's a huge art gallery with different paintings and sculptures. And then there's live art too, where people are like body painted and they're posing as statues. They have a burlesque show. There's like aerial yoga acrobatics, lots of
Fun.
bars. There's several bars like throughout. It's really cool. So we went there
Fun.
for a few hours, but I will say the only thing that kind of stunk was everything was so spaced out. Like you watched a show for 10 minutes and then the next show didn't happen for an hour.
Oh,
So it was
yeah.
like, oh, okay, so there's a show at 8, a show at 9, a show at 10, a show at 11. But, I think if we had been less tired and maybe like with a few more people or something, it could have been more fun.
Yeah.
But we saw all the exhibits. They were amazing. Watched one performance. And then I'm like, I didn't realize there weren't going to be chairs and I'm wearing heels. Can we go home?
Oh, yeah. That'll do it. Look, if there's not like if there's not a
Great.
solid reason for me to be outside wearing heels,
I had my
I'm not
yarn
gonna be
because I
doing it
thought, oh,
anymore.
there's going to be downtime. I'll sit and knit like at this really cool show. Like, during the
Yeah,
there were
yeah.
no chairs. They didn't, and I get that. They didn't want people like clogging up areas, but yeah. But it was still really neat. And I wore an outfit that made me feel very like sexy and beautiful. It was my Les Olas crochet set from last year. It's this red like crop with this red skirt that I made. And I felt beautiful. And yeah,
Yes.
it was pretty good. How was your Valentine's Day?
It was really sweet. It was our first Valentine's Day married, so it was,
Oh,
like,
yay!
kinda cute, and I told Alexis, like, "I wanna kick it like 3rd grade, like, I want you to ask me to be your Valentine, like, I wanna, like, make little" and he, like, went and bought construction paper and then, like, crayons and colored pencils, which, like,
That's
is
so sweet.
my favorite thing. Like, I have always taken arts and crafts time, like, way too serious, and to, like, kick it that, like, old school and, like, get into, like, the construction paper, and we made these little, like, funny cards for each other, and then we did, like, oh, and then we went to a drag show in Spanish, which was super fun.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, this, like, really, cute Mexican restaurant that we go to all the time down the street was having a drag show, so we were like,
I love
rock
that.
and roll. So we went, and it was hilarious, and it was all in Spanish. And I'm learning a lot more Spanish now, so I can basically understand everything that is being said.
Excelente.
I'm
Bueno, si
still trying
necesitas
to
a
speak.
alguien para practicar, yo puedo
Yes. Oh, yeah,
practicar
that's
contigo.
true. You do speak, huh?
Yeah,
I know. I need
somewhat
to get. Yeah. So we did that, and then we went salsa dancing. So it was fun.
fun. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Did you wear anything that you had made this year?
Actually, I did, but it was, jewelry because I kind of got into making jewelry while I was going through the process of, like, my wedding.
Yeah.
I made my sister this, like, rose necklace. It's, like, this big, obnoxious, like, rose out of,
You
like
posted, did I see this? I feel like I saw this.
she wore it in the wedding, like
Yes, 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 yes.
yeah. So, yeah, I wore that and then this, like, sexy black dress and was just kind of
I
like,
love
I'm feeling like like, I'm in my señora era now.
that. I love that.
Yeah, so it was fun. Yeah.
Oh, good. But
Yeah.
it is the weekend of self-love, and while a lot of people, us included, are participating in that with our Valentines, with our partners, I do really love the idea that we ourselves more than anybody else like deserve our love, our affection. And I think that Valentine's Day is always a great reminder to take the time to care for yourself and to like appreciate yourself and appreciate your body. I just went on this kind of rant in my email newsletter this week because every time I watch TV, every time I'm somewhere, I feel like we're back in the early 2000s, like the diet era and like diet culture, body shaming. Everything is for weight loss. Everything
Yeah.
is for, anti-aging. And there's there's nothing wrong. I always think if it's what you're doing and you want to do it, then do whatever you want with your body. Absolutely. But this idea that it's becoming like, oh, you have to, or there's a stick, like if you're not trying to make yourself smaller, if you're not trying to make yourself look younger, then you're letting yourself go, or you're not taking care of yourself. I hate that. It's so
Yeah.
reminiscent of the
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
And are you seeing that too? I can't be
Oh,
alone.
1000%. I feel like if you want to know like the issues with the society, all you have to do is look at their commercials. Like all of our commercials are like fast food, diet and weight loss, pharmaceuticals, don't look your age. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, thanks.
It just it boggles me, and it makes me so sad because I do feel like right around the pandemic and post-pandemic, we were really getting into this idea of kind of accepting yourself and caring for your body, like moving to feel good, finding like nourishing yourself in ways that makes you feel good. It's like it doesn't matter what size your body is, it's not related to your worth. There was all of these positive messages that were so empowering. And I feel like even though it was still pandemic, like my mental health was kind of at an all-time high because I was like,
Yeah,
oh my God, we're all so amazing. And I felt so connected to so many people because of this.
yeah,
And then like last year with my anticipatory grief and then Rudy, I feel like I just kind of it took a back seat and I didn't realize how much the world was changing and like when I wasn't paying attention to it. And now that I'm noticing again, I'm like, when did this happen? This is awful.
yeah. No, I mean, and it's still a movement. Like we
Yeah,
still have to make it happen. Like
exactly.
yeah, like we're still in that work. Uh,
Yes. And I
yeah,
think that's like the really cool thing that especially where you and I are, it's, you know, out of all these other industries and things, I feel like the yarning community really has that ability to recognize and like support the self-love and the body acceptance, body neutrality, body confidence movements
yeah,
because we have this superpower where we take yarn and we make things, but we don't have to make them into the society size 6, society size 8. Like we can make them to fit our bodies exactly as they are.
yes.
We can make them tailor them for our preferences or our needs. We all have different needs when it comes to clothing. And I feel like that's such a superpower and something like so empowering for us to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I feel like you and I have been like on similar missions. And like with the super customizable patterns, like especially for like, like a dress, it's like you can't pick like, oh, I'm a 2X dress and the whole thing is just going to fit you perfectly. Like that doesn't work. Like you have to be, like everybody's cut size is different and then you're a different height and then your hips do this at a different angle. It's like, no, you got to be able to make it work for you.
Exactly. This is for anybody watching. This is where Dominique and I bonded early on. I was so excited when I first started testing for her because I knew how important size inclusivity was to her. And it was so incredible to like take these fabulous designs that you make, like that come from your brain, and just to be like part of the team helping you like
Oh
how to
god.
make this
Chelsea
like,
was a very essential part of the team, let me tell you.
oh, I love you.
Yeah, no, everybody thank Chelsea for me having any sort of semblance of like a pattern situation happening.
But like you come up with these incredible ideas. And the first time we talked, and you're like, well, I've never read a pattern before. And I was like,
I know. No, I know. I was like, I
what?
really just went into it so blind, and Chelsea was so kind to like tell me how things go, and yeah, thank God for
we had
Chelsea,
we
really.
had fun and we made it work. And
Yeah.
now I love, because I always love whenever you post in your newsletters and in your on your grid and everything else, seeing the people who create your garments. Like it's not just one type of person. It's beautiful, the diversity of people
Yes. Well, I
who
just
make
featured
them.
you. Did you see?
I did. I emailed you back actually because when I saw that the other day, I was
Oh
like,
yeah, I did see your email.
I was in my feels. I was like tearing up. I'm like, she featured me on
Oh.
Valentine's Day.
Yes, of course. I mean, that pink Edith dress of yours is iconic. Like, yeah, honestly, it is. I I'm like thinking of getting it framed and putting it in my office.
Well, I wore that on Stephen and I think it was our 8th or 9th anniversary. And my friend Kate, who has since moved out to Oregon, but whenever she was living here in Florida, she is a professional photographer. So she did like a whole
Yes.
photo shoot for us
I
in,
know.
I think, was it the Azalea Gardens? Some really cool
That
like
shoot is
gardening place in
gorgeous.
Florida. And it was really awesome. I
You know what?
felt,
I think I need those photos again. Can you
I
send me
think I could
those?
probably send them to you.
Okay, thank you. I'm making an Edith dress right now.
You are?
It's blue.
Oh, it looks almost gray on camera.
It's like a Cinderella blue.
Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah, I'm excited about
Is
it.
this for you or is this for a client or?
It's for I'm making a sample because I'm serious about making this book. I got to make this book.
Yay!
It's
Oh my
gonna
God,
have a
that's
slit.
awesome.
It has an option for a slit,
I love that.
so it's happening. I'm like, got to make it happen.
I
Um,
actually, I said I don't do like the New Year's plans or whatever, but I do kind of like just write down patterns. Like some of the ones I have started and other ones are just like, okay, this is just a list. Oh, and for summer, I absolutely want to make, well, I want to do the lotus top with the Luna skirt and make it a dress.
yes, 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 yes. That is such a sexy combination, and you're gonna love having that at the beach.
Oh yeah. And the one, because you have that particular sample in black,
Yeah,
I think you made it, but like on one of your models.
yeah.
And because I love the look, because it has like all the pop outs, like in all the right places, like the little cutouts and
Yeah,
stuff.
girl.
Yeah. And then it has wait, Luna. Yeah, Luna's the one with the granny square patches, right? Like all around the skirt. Not granny squares, but they're like motifs.
Yeah, they're like circular
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and oh my gosh, it just looks so beautiful. And I think as a cover up on the beach, but I'm thinking like I might just sew in a little teeny tiny silk liner,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
covers
totally.
the booty area. And so I'm like, oh my God, I would wear that for date night all the time.
Yeah, no, I love I would wear that dress. That's actually one of my samples that sold, and I'm kind of like, dang it.
It's sold.
Yes,
Okay. That's very exciting, but also, oh my God,
I
my heart.
know. I put it on Etsy, and I was like, damn it.
It did exactly what I told it to, but still.
This is my fault. No,
Oh,
but
I
you're
love
gonna love that dress. Are you doing it in black? Is that what you said?
it.
Nice.
Well, okay. So I've swatched with the black and I think I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
And I think it'll go with everything. Like I can pair it with like a green cardigan. I can
Mm-hmm.
like do different colored heels. I do think that makes it very classic, but there is a part of me that's like, should I do it in lime green? And then I can pair it with like all sorts of hot pinks.
I love lime green on you so
Thank you.
much. Yeah. So, that would
It's
be
so
epic. You
tempting.
should. I mean, look.
Maybe I need one of both,
Yeah, you could.
one of each. That
Why
could
not?
work too.
Why not? Um. So, so, how are you loving yourself right now in this Valentine's Day time?
Well, definitely the slowing down that I talked about because we are still in winter and I'm still very much in my grief and everything. Um, I've actually I was laughing. I've been drinking quite a bit less, so I get tipsy really easily.
You're a cheap date now.
I put like almost 2 shots in this, and I'm like, "Woo, I feel a little vibey,"
Nice.
because I did discover several years back, like peak 2020, I was like hard into my booze. And don't get me wrong, it was fun and I was coping the best that I could. But I think at a certain point I was like, I think drinking for me should be fun and celebratory instead of like when I'm at my worst, because I found I it makes me feel more maudlin. It's a depressant. So
Yeah.
I try not to drink whenever I'm sad or upset and save alcohol instead for other occasions. And I'm a bubbly person by nature, so I still drink a lot. But with everything that happened with Rudy, it has the alcohol has been much lower. So if I get a little tongue tied later, you'll know why, because this is a
That's
strong.
cute. That's good.
Yeah, but definitely slowing down, choosing to only work on things that bring me joy, and really not judging myself for like the productivity equals worth, but
Yeah.
even the body equals worth. Like I feel like my body image has really come into play lately because I haven't been wearing makeup. I cried off anyways, so why bother?
Right.
Just lots of different ways, and I'm feeling like, I don't know, my natural beauty, like just even when I look like at the same time I'm like, oh, this is me, and like that's okay, and I don't owe anyone pretty. I try to show up on my stories now authentically, which is a lot of times without makeup.
Yeah.
And I have hilariously they were well-intentioned messages, but people are like, I love that you just don't care in your video. You're just being you without caring what you look like. And I'm like,
Oh my
thank
god.
you.
That's wild.
And I know I know that it was meant as a compliment and like with love. So that's the way I'm taking it. I'm taking it that way. But yeah, I think trying not to let myself get hung up on things about my body or anything else, because I'm so proud of my body for allowing me to make it through all of these hard times. So why would I be mean to it right now?
Yeah,
I
for
guess.
sure. Absolutely.
What about you? How are you showing self-love to yourself?
Um, like I don't know. I was just asking you the question.
And the wheels were not turning for how it works for you.
I know. I didn't think this through. Honestly, yeah, I think
Are you
I've been reading a lot lately, like,
That's good.
yeah, I'm actually like thinking about making another career pivot.
Into what?
I really love coaching. Like, um,
With your crochet classes?
well, yeah, the crochet stuff, that's been going really well. Yeah, I love doing that, but also like just about like, because a lot of times, like, you know, other friends that have businesses will call me and they'll have questions or about like, random like their websites or just whatever. And
Yeah.
I feel like I've been like doing it a lot already. So it's something that I'm
Oh, I
kind of
love it.
looking into. Because through this whole like the fires that happened in Los Angeles, it's definitely made me like kind of take a look at like my lifestyle and just um how and where I want to spend my time. And I think that just like I don't know. I think it's just all kind of restructuring for me. Like I realized that I was doing like commercials for brands that I don't really believe in, or I was on these sets like kind of, offering my creativity for these like products and these companies and stuff that like I don't actually align with. And
Right.
that I'll tell you a quick story. There was like supposed to be on the set for a pharmaceutical company like the day that the fires like really were starting to get bad.
You
And
posted this in your stories, didn't you?
I
Because
did,
I was so
yeah.
pissed on your behalf.
Yes. So I was kind of like seeing all these like the Pasadena fire was starting to get really bad, and that's like, it's close to my house. Like I go through there like every time I go into the city. And so I, got on the phone with the producer and I was like, "Hey, like this isn't looking good. Like I like
Yeah.
on a good day without a disaster happening, it takes me an hour and a half to get across town
Holy
back to where I live.
Oh my god.
So that's just like a good day commute. That's like no traffic, like easy breezy kind of day. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to get separated by that distance plus fires. Like there's no amount of money that's like worth it. And they still
Right.
did an outdoor shoot in an close to an evacuated area for a pharmaceutical company. This pharmaceutical
Oh,
company couldn't wait a week to get their photos, like, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just, this is like such a powerful image of like these companies, like, they don't
they
care
don't give a
about
shit.
you. This pharmaceutical company doesn't actually care about your health.
Yeah.
like, yeah, and I feel like I kind of do that. I just end up on these sets for like these companies that I don't actually agree with. So I'm really taking a look at all of that, and I'm really like reevaluating like my entire situation at this point, basically.
And I'm so glad you're able to do that. I'm just thinking about all the people that, like, it's the paycheck they need. Like, they're gonna,
Yeah.
not be able to afford groceries, or they're not gonna be able to do things if they don't go. But at the same time, going means they're not gonna know what's happening to their house, or they're gonna have to risk life and limb getting there just to, like, shoot. Oh, that just I was
Yeah.
so angry on your behalf.
Yeah, but even just like in general, like again, even when there's not a disaster happening, like,
Yeah.
there's like people, like I have friends that work on like, reality TV sets and they hate
Mhm.
it. And the hours are atrocious. And then it's like they've spent their entire lives and energies and they're exhausted to make a show that like they don't even support.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, what are we doing, people?
I Do you ever see those, posts and, like, memes that are like, we could be laying in the sunshine in a field eating grapes, and no, but somebody had to come up with taxes and jobs. Do you feel like that
Yes. And all that stuff
so
is made
often?
up. It's all made up.
Like, how
Made up by
messed up our
somebody.
society is with,
Yeah.
like, how much we work and how much we expect people to work, and all the things we're expected to push aside for productivity's sake for most companies. I mean, some people are very lucky that they have companies they work for that care about them and stuff, but, like, most companies don't give a shit. They'll replace you in an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And we do all of that for this small amount of time in the evenings and these small amount of times on the weekends. And you do all of that to retire whenever you're, 50,
Mhm.
60, 70, and you don't even like
Yeah.
it just where did we go wrong? This just does not feel like what society should be.
Yeah.
And I know it's such a minuscule thing, like that I keep bringing it back to yarning. It really is such a minuscule thing. But that idea of being like, I'm taking time for myself, like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do all these other things, that I'm just taking time to do something for myself that makes me
Mhm.
happy and that relaxes me. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's kind of like a big middle finger to
Well, and
society at
also,
large, capitalism.
I think that tapping into your creativity is actually what is gonna save the world.
Yes.
Because even if, like, it feels, like, trivial, like, we're playing with yarn or construction paper or whatever it is, like, we're
Yeah.
tapping into that flow state, and we're, like,
Mhm.
getting our creative juices flowing so that when we are presented with a disaster, we can,
Yeah.
like, creatively get through it. And, like,
Yes.
you know
We're better able to pivot. We're better able to do we have, like, this ability to find the calm in the storm
Yeah,
aspect
totally.
of it. I
Yeah.
think for sure. And for anybody because I know I've been kind of fighting being down on myself with having taken some time off and now coming back. Like, I am a business also, so I do look at numbers, even if I know that my worth isn't tied to the numbers and everything. But it is disheartening to be like, wow, everything is down, like
Mhm.
everything is tanking, and to not let that affect me. But, like, for anyone, you don't have to own a business or not. Like, share your work. Like, don't
Yeah,
worry if you're not getting likes or what. Like, your work is intrinsically
it is.
valuable because you create it. Like, it's beautiful, and you should share it without worrying about, like, oh, are people gonna like, just share it.
Oh, yeah.
Share
And it
your
is gonna inspire somebody. Like, if you made it
Yes.
and you love it, it's gonna inspire somebody. When I made my Namaste and Crochet page, it was literally because I thought my friends were getting annoyed at me posting crochet pictures. I was like, "Nobody wants to see this. this is annoying. I'm
Let
supposed
me
to be
create a
like,
separate space for it.
yeah, like I was supposed to be a singer at that time. So I was like, let me not post my crochet pictures that nobody wants to see. And then lo and behold, that's like what everybody wanted to see. So like,
Right?
it's like it's so easy to put down what you're doing and think that maybe you're like crazy or that like nobody's gonna resonate with it, but that's not true.
Somebody does, and even if it is only that, like, one person.
Yeah.
I've had a few, like, downer moments the last couple weeks and stuff, and I get, like, sometimes just a random Instagram message or a random email response, like, somebody saying, like, "Thank you," because especially on YouTube, I've been like, "Oh, is this even something that I wanna keep doing?" Like, I'm not sure that people are even enjoying it, and then I get such kind responses like, "I look forward to hanging out with you every week." And I laugh because I know there are so many accounts that I feel that way about, like that
Yeah.
I watch their YouTube videos and I feel like I'm hanging out with a friend or something that they say really inspires me. I know that there are accounts that I follow on Instagram for shit that I don't even do, like trying to think some of the art and like just cool hobbies that people do that I'm like, I would never do that, but I'm so inspired by it. It makes me feel creative in my own way. And
Yeah.
some of them are small and some of them are big accounts. And you never know who you're inspiring.
Yeah,
But keep doing you.
absolutely.
Keep being you.
Yeah, 100%. We need creativity is a rebellious act because we have to create the world that we want now. We have a lot of examples of what we don't want. Now we need to
Yes,
make what we do want. Um,
exactly.
yeah. Oh, by the way, I have this super solid dating advice I've been giving.
Oh, yes, I saw you write about this and I was gonna ask you. Yes. So tell us. Tell
Okay, guys,
your
I have to spill you the tea too, because like, okay, so this is my dating advice, and it's the same as a lot of my advice. If you're feeling weird about life, if you're, you know, trying to imagine what you want for this next season in your life, or if you're making a design, do this. But if you're dating, do this. Okay, so make a partner Pinterest board, and
Okay.
you got to put like a lot of things on there. You got to put like
Mhm.
what do they like? Do they play sports? Do they, are they into music? What kind of music do they like? What kind of activities do they like? Where do they like to travel? Where do you want to travel together? What kind of food do they like? Put everything that you want in a partner just like in there. On mine, I put like all these cute guys that were like my type, and just all this random stuff. And my husband is exactly the mood board. Like,
Created him from a Pinterest board. I love this.
seriously, he was like Pinterest board husband. Like, I pinned a I pinned a lot of guys. This kooky lady told me to do this in 2019. This is 2 years before we met. She was like,
Do you know what this is giving? This is giving the spell from Practical Magic when Sandra Bullock says all the things she wants in her future partner, and it like the spell goes off and finds him. Pinterest vision boards are now spells. Witchcraft in action.
literally. I'm not
Manifesting.
manifesting. The Pinterest gods do not play. No, but like, okay, so this worked for me, but this also worked for my sister, and my sister's type is very specific. She likes
Huh.
long dreads.
Okay.
Fit guys,
Cool.
long dreads. She got her man. That's all I'm
She
saying.
found
She
she
found it.
found her. I'm just cracking up because if somebody had given me this advice, like my husband is perfect. I love him. He's like everything I wanted, but we are so opposite on so many things too that I don't think I would have Pinterest boarded him. But I'm glad that I did it. Like he, yeah, we're perfect for each other. Right, right, yeah. But like, yeah, so like, I mean, I am a hands girly, and I think he has like the best hands, so he would have like fit that. But it's so funny because there were things that I didn't realize because we were young when we met. I was 21. No, I was, yeah, 21. He was 22, 23. And I'm trying to think, was he 22 or 20? Because we're not like precisely 2 years apart. I think he was 22. Regardless. Like so many qualities that I didn't realize I wanted in a partner that he had. And then like once we started dating and I found out these things about him, and they were so different than any guy that I dated or like things I was like somebody who I love my dad, don't get me wrong, but like I would be like, oh, my dad and my mom, like they're so sweet and I love that. And then I'm like, oh, but like he doesn't make fun of me. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
things I grew up thinking were normal. It's like, wow, that's so nice to have in a partner, like somebody who respects my opinion.
Literally. Yes.
Wow, it's magical.
Yes, it is.
So I'm very
Yeah.
glad that, yes, I manifested him not even knowing that that's what I wanted.
Amen. See, there you go. Love that. Yeah, you guys are the
Yeah, I
best.
really just thought he was cute.
That's all you need to know.
Where you start. That's where you start, and then it moves on from there.
Well,
Yeah.
I had some, like, gnarly breakups too, so I was like,
Yes.
"I am done." Like, "Okay, I know what I don't want. What do I
Yes.
want?" I was very much in that kind of a mindset when I made my mood board because I was like, "Sheesh, it's rough out here dating."
It is rough out here.
Yeah, yeah, like
Oh my
it's
god.
ghetto out
Yeah.
here.
So you can totally make a mood board for your partner. And
Yeah.
I also feel like make a mood board for yourself
Oh,
too, because you
yeah.
are also your
Oh,
own
yeah.
greatest love of your life.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I have only recently discovered the joys of mood boarding because I feel like I have trauma related to vision boarding because in high school we all did them for like weight loss. I don't know.
Oh.
Did you were a little younger. We would like cut out magazines and like it was all Victoria's Secret models and like like specifically remember like cutting out like toned arms.
Oh my
Like now I want to like I just hate that we did that. And that was so normal. Like we all did it.
yeah.
And things and it was all like fitness goals and things like that. So I feel like for a long time, especially whenever I kind of went on my self-love journey, but I was like, no, I don't do vision boarding for that
Yeah,
specific
yeah.
reason. I had trauma associated with it. But recently I've been doing it for the projects that I'm making,
Yeah.
like the designs, just because
Mhm.
it's fun and getting the vibe of them and
Yeah.
putting in little close-up stitch textures that I think I might like, or I do a lot of like beach scenes that kind of match the colors and crystals that match the colors and just the
Yeah.
energy that I really want to put in. But I also have started doing it for like the months. So like, okay, this
Nice.
is February's like mood board. Like this is the energy. This is how I want to feel in February.
See, that's perfect.
It's wonderful. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's good to visualize, you know?
Yeah.
And then when you're actually living the things that you visualize, then you can be like, "Oh, here we are," like in the Pinterest board. Because I think that's something that like I personally struggle with too is like um taking a moment to recognize like how far I've come or,
Yes.
what I have created. Cause like as soon as I finish something, I'm on to the next thing. I'm like, what do I gotta do next? Like, and I can be such like a, just move right along that I don't take time to like celebrate myself or what I've accomplished.
Yes.
And like you gotta do that. You gotta take your moments and be like, wow, like I worked to live yesterday's dream, you know?
Yes. And it's especially easy when you're in a bad place.
Mm.
Whenever things are shitty and they're happening and you think, "Oh my gosh," and you're either down on yourself or you're down on your life or whatever. But if you actually take the moment to like pause and look back and see how far you've come, it often is just so helpful. Like I know, there are things that I would not have handled well now. Like or I wouldn't have handled them well in the past, but I'm handling them better than expected.
Yeah.
Or when projects fail, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I suck at everything. I have very negative self-talk. But if I do take a second and it's like, you know what, look at all this other, like you can figure things out. You've done this before, you can do it again. And that reminder to yourself of how far you've come can be so helpful
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The progress that we make. It's a hard year, y'all. And it might not get a lot easier anytime soon, but your Yarny community is here for you.
Yeah.
You are here for you. And I think that's like
Yeah.
you should be your biggest cheerleader. You should be your biggest supporter and making sure that you're taking care of yourself and doing the
Yeah.
things that you need.
I know. Sometimes I feel like guilty, like taking a moment for myself when there's so much
Yeah,
happening, so much that I could be doing, you know what I mean? But then it's
right,
like, no, because you can't give what you don't have. And
right.
you can't
Can't pour from an empty cup. Yes.
literally, yeah. So we really have to take time for ourselves. I feel like we've
Yeah.
been getting like legitimate questions and comments in here. I don't have my glasses
There was
on.
one that I was going to come to at the end. Actually, if anybody is here and you want to ask questions, this would be a
Yeah.
really great time. But Terry had asked a little bit ago what our favorite pieces we've knitted and crocheted are.
Oh man. What's your answer?
Oh, it's so hard. I have a couple. I have like my very first knit and my very first crochet design ever, because those are just so special to me because I did not think I had what it takes to be a designer. I was worried that I wasn't good enough in knitting and crocheting, or I wasn't smart enough with math to do it. And I'm so proud of myself. Again, recognize your progress
Yeah.
for trying it anyways. And that's my tan and tipsy top, my very first knit design, and my basic stitch bikini, which I just posted about the other day. And not knowing anything about bikini design and just going for it, me and my friend Nikki sat in Target measuring crotch gussets across all of the sides. Because I was like, I'm assuming like we all have different needs when it comes to coverage of our vulvas,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it was so fascinating to like learn, okay, crotch gusset length, crotch, all of these different things. We spent hours doing that
Yeah.
just because there were no resources out there, and just being like, fuck it, I'm going to give it a go and just trying anyways. Very proud of myself for that. And then I feel like, I don't know, another project that I'm just really proud of myself. I made it whenever I got my bilateral salpingectomy. So I had my tubes removed because I am child free by choice. And with the way things are going in my state, I wanted to make sure that that choice would remain mine.
Yes.
But I had cast on the super soft coat by One of a Kate, and it is this epic
Yes.
fur coat made with
That is
faux fur.
epic.
And mine, I fucked it up. I don't know how many times I'm allowed to say the F word before I get demonetized on YouTube, so I'm going to try to stop. I think I can say it like once or twice. So I'm going to try. We'll try to like
Oh, no.
bleep me out.
I didn't
I'll
know
try
that
to
was a
censor my own
thing.
self.
Dang it. Okay.
But I really messed it up, and I could have beaten myself up. I could have frogged the whole thing. I could have like thrown it away. But I was just like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. Let's just see. And it became my Macklemore coat. Like, it is
Yes.
epic. It is not what it was supposed to be. It's better. It's better because it was a mistake.
I love
And
it.
I love that about that coat. And I wear it all the time. And I just think that that is so cool that we can completely screw things up and they're still awesome.
Yes. 100%.
Those are my 3 favorite knit and crochet pieces. What about you?
Nice. Well, I feel like I have to say my wedding dress.
Yes, you do.
It is indeed my favorite. It was also like my arch nemesis for like 8 months. I was the worst bridezilla I've ever had for sure.
I love
But
that you were your own worst client.
I was terrible. And I know that. Yeah, no, that was crazy. And then there was also like things I didn't know. Like you can get specific like beading needles for things that have just like tiny tiny gauges, cuz I was working with these like freshwater pearls that had like the tiniest little holes in them that I could not, and drove myself effing crazy. And yeah, but I'm very happy with how it came out. And yes, I'm happy how it came out.
That dress is so sensational. Like, oh my God. It was everything that I feel like you are as like a designer and as a person. And it
Aw,
just, oh my gosh, it was so stunning on you. It was beautiful.
thank
And
you.
what I love is the joy that you radiate in the photos too, because like you can just see how happy, not just marrying like the wonderful love of your life, but like, I don't know. I feel like that had to have played a part, like this magical dress that you had on too.
Yeah, it was such a magical day, honestly. Like, yeah, I was such a Grinch bride going into that because I've been working with brides for like 10 years. And so I've just seen so many things and I was like, I don't want to, have a bridal shower and I don't want to do this and that. And people forced me to anyway. And then it ended up being the most amazing thing ever. So
That makes me
that's
so
kind of how that
happy.
experience was. And then like the day of like kind of came together in this like beautiful, unexpected kind of way. And so yeah, it was awesome. But I'm so glad that I'm not gonna do that again until my sister gets married, like, but not for myself. I am
I was
so
gonna say, does she
happy.
want you to make her dress?
What?
Does she want you to make her dress?
No, I don't
Okay.
wanna, yeah. I'm gonna make
I
her
wasn't
a
sure if that's
dress,
what you meant.
but not the
Yeah.
dress. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, no, that was a whole thing. Getting married is a whole production.
Yes.
The
Yes, it is.
production.
We got married back in 2014, and I knew I didn't want. I didn't want to be in charge of that, so I just let my mom.
Oh, nice.
I really, because if somebody was like, no, you have to plan your whole wedding, I would have eloped. I would have, like, that
Yeah.
would have been all there is to it. And we almost did it like 6 times, because even though I wasn't doing, there was still stress, and I wasn't even doing most of the wedding planning. So all y'all who like actually plan your weddings, I don't know how you do it, because yeah, I think 3 or 4 times. One of them, we were in France looking up, can we elope here? But you have to have like 40-day. France is very strict on like elopement
Oh,
procedures. We were in France for he was my fiance at the time, his sister's wedding, so my husband's sister's wedding. And she's like, why don't you guys just get married here? Because I was telling her all like the drama and stuff. And we were like, really? So had they allowed the elopement in the amount of time we were there, we would have.
mhm.
But at the same time, it was my mom is an amazing like party planner and everything. So it was fabulous. And I was so surprised by so many things because I didn't plan them. So
That's nice, and they were pleasant surprises.
they were.
Good.
I mean, I was like, I want beachy sparkles champagne. Like that was the theme kind
Yeah,
of. And they gave me beachy sparkle champagne, and there was seashells everywhere and sparkles everywhere.
perfect.
And I was happy.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, I can imagine that would be very stressful, but your dress, it was just so magical.
Thanks. It was great. I mean, I think it's like everybody's a little stressed for their weddings, but like,
Right.
in total, it was definitely not as stressful as I've definitely seen it be.
Right.
With- yeah. Um, but yeah, do we have any more questions?
I
I
think
like
that was
let
the
me know.
only one that was asked. Although Bean 2A, I think this is Alex. I think your acceptance is part of your love for yourself. And I also think it's worth acknowledging that the safe and healthy things you're doing that are hard are also showing your self love. That is very true. Sometimes self care is not the fun stuff, it's not
Mhm.
the bubble baths and the taking time to yarn first. Sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's like making the phone calls that, it's reaching out for help. It's doing the shit that you don't want to do.
Mhm.
That is also absolutely a part of self-care and self-love for yourself, even though it's hard.
Absolutely. Yes.
But yeah. Well, I just want to say how much I love you, Dominique, and thank you so much for
I love
coming onto the
you.
live. And everybody, if you are looking for amazing size inclusive pieces, if you are wanting to make something for your own body, like maybe you have an idea or you feel like design might be fun for you, go check out Dominique because she is offering crochet classes.
I
She's teaching people
am.
not necessarily like beginner crochet, not that, but like teaching you how to design for
Mhm.
yourself, how to take
Yeah.
this idea that you have and turn it into something, which I
Yes.
think is a really unique class that isn't offered a lot of places.
Yeah, it's been interesting because I'm like, how the hell am I gonna explain what happens up here with words?
Yeah.
But it's been happening, and like every person that I've worked with is like, they have like a different thing that they're working on. Sometimes it's just the business aspect of what they're doing. Sometimes it's like they want to design this like, crazy unique bag or like a dress design that they have, or like one of my girls is making her own wedding dress. So it's been like a
Oh, I love that.
really wide range of topics, but it's been very fun, and yeah, I'm loving it. So,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Well, definitely check out Dominique. And if you are on my email list, you already got the code, but I'm also going to give it here on YouTube until Tuesday night at midnight. You can save 20% on all Knitting Tipsy patterns. They are all size inclusive. They're lots of fun to make. If you need to take a little time out for yourself, use code LOVE YASELF,
Yes.
LOVEYASELF
Yes.
20. And you can save 20% on my patterns. I will give that out to my YouTube community because y'all are amazing who watch.
Yes. Go get the Vera. Get the Vera pattern. That one's
Oh,
fun.
the Very Vero.
I
That's a
love
good,
that
it's
one.
very, it's a fun one.
That's a great one.
Well, thank y'all so much for watching. If you are watching the replay of this and you have any questions, please go ahead and comment. Dominique and I will be sure to take a look and to answer them. And Dominique, thank you so much for joining me again. I love you, girl.
I love you. Yeah, well, let's definitely do this again.
Yeah,
With
how
the
do the
heart.
kids do it now? Is this how the kids do it? I'm a
Oh, you
millennial,
do
so
this. Oh yeah, this is easier.
it's
Yeah.
easier. And I was also an ESL teacher, so like this is how I'm just so used to doing this on camera for my kids in China. Like, oh, I love
yeah. How
you.
cute.
Meanwhile, everybody's like, I have to like think about this one.
Yeah, this is harder. This one's better.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too. Bye, y'all. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.